Trying this again. I'm using my National today. Hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can hear me this time. I'm using a hole punch and making peace signs and trying it that way. Something like this. Where is it? Here we go. Here's one. Like so. That is what I'm trying to do. That one's not the best, but that was the first. But I'm going to be using a hole punch like I've been doing for these guys. And these guys. This is what somebody saw this and thought peace sign all of a sudden. And then they realized, no, that's not a peace sign. But that's the same idea. So I said, hey, why not? Give it a try. All we are saying is give pizza a chance. We'll see. I hope you guys can hear me this time. We can find out, I guess, the hard way. Hold on. If you can hear me, please just... Well, never mind. I'll do something else here. Let's see. I just went live, so I should be on the main stay here in just a... Yeah, here we go. See if you can hear me. Oh, yeah, you can hear me this time. Good. We don't have to worry about it. I checked. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing a peace sign out of this. First, I'm going to flatten it. With this thing right here. Yes, I'm using my National torch. I think it's got a number 3 tip in it, or number 2, I'm not sure which. But it does the job. Press that nice and disc round. Well, it doesn't have to be round yet, but it will by the time I'm finished with it. Hopefully. Here we go. We're going to press it down onto this. And see if that doesn't make it a little bit flatter. Like I said, I'm making a peace sign out of this. There we go. Now I'm going to take the hole puncher or the bail biter or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to start making the inner loops. Yeah, you sort of got to wiggle it. Oh man, that wasn't nice, but it will do the job. Wiggle it back and forth, and it sort of got to crunch through the surface. And you do it until it goes crunch. There we go. That one made it. This would make a good way to make buttons too if you wanted to get into it. I'm going to flare it out a little bit, make the hole wider. Now I got to do 2 more sets of holes. To make the bottom parts of the points, I guess you could say. I mean the bottom parts of the peace sign. Who knew, right? Okay, we're getting there. One hole at a time. It does look like a crazy button at the moment, until I widen it some more. You know, those would be interesting buttons made this way. Big wide holes. Who knew, right? Okay. Now let's see what we can do. We got this other thing that will also help bring the shape into shape by pinching and twisting a little bit. Like so. Hello, glad to see somebody showed up. I'm making a peace sign. I know you can tell, right? Now I'm going to see if I can't make it look a little bit better. We're gonna stretch it some more. Not stretch it, but move some of the glass around now. And also use a graphite rimmer. Hey, Maho. Oh, come jam. I don't know how to do it, Maho. I wish I did. But after I get off of this, I guess I could do a messenger with you if you'd like. Does that sound like a plan? Sit here, chat for a little bit. Swap war stories. The old war wound. The war wound. No, you know what I mean. Good to see some of the things you're coming up with. Little tiny ones, but doable. That's what it's all about, doing something different that nobody's thought of before. Yeah, I'm messing this up a little bit, but it's still starting to turn into what I want. I'm gonna stretch it a little bit too. Just a little bit. Hey, Gene. Oh, not too bad. Been better, been worse. Just glad I wasn't Bin Laden. I'm making a peace sign. Can't you tell? Well, yeah, a peace sign on LSD or something. Who knows? We'll get there. I used a hole punch to make the inner holes. And it's just a matter of... well, that might work too. A tungsten. Get the edges better. I'll round it in a little bit too. I'm playing. This is only the second one that I've done, so I've still got a lot of learning to do on it. It's easy to make a peace sign, I know, but to make it out of glass and to make it, I'm also experimenting and doing this so that I can eventually make hollow peace signs to go on the end of one-hitters and stuff, which I think will turn out really, really cool. I did one with some skulls the other day that turned out nice. Like here's one. Well, this is just a basic bowl, but here is the skull on the end, and there's the bowl. all silver fumed. A little bit different, I guess you could say. Yeah. I started encasing snow quartz in boro now too. I put layers of fume around them and they look almost like an opal. Yeah, it does have some iridescence to it once you do it. Are you making little figurines to go inside, or are you just putting like chunks and flecks in there, which still have their own little properties of coolness, I guess you could say? That's my question. Sounds like fun though, Eugene. I hope you're using at least number 5 welding shades when you're working or melting the quartz, or if you're not melting the quartz, just flaking it, I guess. What? Yeah, it's usually milky white quartz that does your best, and you can use clear quartz, but it looks almost like a ghostly image in there, which has its moments. But I guess you could use fuming silver, or no, actually fuming gold to it, and it should come out with some interesting colors. I mean, the pink color at least. Just tiny chips of stone, putting them in chellums. Cool. Yes, my shades are number 5s. Good, good, good. When you're working the quartz, well, if you're melting the quartz is one thing. Number 5 shades too, and this stuff would work as well. I can see that. So that's cool. I just like seeing what I'm doing, and most of the time I'm working smaller stuff. So having a number 5 shade on usually makes me go blind. Not that one. Here we go. Here's the one I'm looking for, right here. Hey, if you'd like to try encasing some of my quartz figurines, we could probably do some deals, Eugene. Trades or whatever. Yeah, that's looking a little better. And again, this is the second one that I've done, and usually it takes about 3 or 4, maybe even, it took me about 10 to get the idea of still the brightest glows like colored glass. Yes, it does, as you're melting or getting it hot enough to stick to. I hope you're leaving it in the kiln till it's room temperature before you're taking it out of the kiln, because still the stress levels can surprise you, and you probably have realized that in some respects. Quartz is a pickled finger. Well, that might help too. Let's try that. Where is it? Where is it? There he is. There he is. I've got plenty of little figurines. You name the type that you want. Mermaids, dolphins, frogs, cats. It works. And again, you've got to really encase it well. And literally put it in the oven and let it get down to room temperature before you touch it again. Maybe even do a longer saturation too. I've had some that still come out with hairline. It's some weird cracks. Yeah, I went to Vegas, Las Vegas, not this year, but last year, and told them how I encased stuff in quartz encased in boro, and they went, what? A lot of them were like eye widening, and I made some trades with some quartz figurines and stuff, which was pretty cool. Very nice stuff. When people know, one that was I traded from Nightmare Before Christmas Zero, the dog, and I believe it glows in the dark. The person I got it from, anyway. Pretty cool. Now this is still a little very primitive, but a peace sign. Oops, sorry. Yeah, still coming out with it. And again, this is, you got to practice until you get it right. And this is still learning. It's still a learning process. Looks like a chicken foot. Hey. Excuse me. Now do the loop. On the top, and then work on the bottom a little bit more because the top's looking really good. Not perfect, but doable. And I don't like to make things perfect. That's just my preference. Just like some of the folk art type stuff, it's not perfect. It has its own genre. And mine is, I try to make mine attainable goal type stuff for anybody who tries doing some glass. And yes, you can take it to another degree and another level. And that's the cool thing about glass, is that you can get so much out of it. And one person sees, just like when I first did this, one person, I just saw the skull, and somebody else picked it up and said, "Oh, that's a peace sign." I said, "No, but that wouldn't be a bad idea." Which is what the cool thing is. Using your imagination and somebody else's imagination and coming together and making something that 5 minutes ago wasn't even reality. Easily shocked if it gets cool for a minute. I have about 10 pieces that have survived, and about 6 different amounts of cracks. Yes. You can try to reheat, but I would suggest you put it in the oven to get it almost back up to the 10,000 mark, to play with it again. And then you could try to seal the cracks, and sometimes I've had luck with that. And you can give that a try if you'd like. But you also got to realize that if you reheat, like if you make a marble and you reheat it, there is that possibility that it could stress out the second time, even though the first time it was fine. Because again, these are two they're not supposed to be compatible. Adding a little bit more glass to that side, and probably going to add a little bit more glass to this side of the peace sign. Why? Because I can. There. Yeah, I'd like to think I was the forefront of that type of encasements. Always trying, that's what it is, trying things that other people haven't tried or think is possible to do, and then going past that. The very first one that I did was a dragon. I took a piece of quartz, I took a quartz dragon and just encased, and I didn't even put it to the oven. I didn't even put it to the oven. It it survived. And I think that sometimes, and this is a weird thing, you gotta bear with me, but it's one of my things, is sometimes your artistic talents do sort of like a quantum jump from where they are to where they should be, and then back. Because if I hadn't have just tried it and played with it and made it work, and then for years after that I tried to make it another marble with the figurine inside, and everything I did looked like a fried marble. Everything I did looked like a fried marble. But I knew it was possible because there it was in front of me, sitting. And that's what kept me going, and realizing that there had to be a... And then once I realized, and I was using an annealing oven that wasn't digital at the time. I used an analog trip cone type thing. And once there we go, we got ourselves a peace sign. Kind of looks like a pretzel. Thanks a lot, Tyler. Yeah, it does look like a pretzel. Maybe I could do one of those too. Oops. Let's set that down. Now, let's try a ghost. This one's going to be fun. Did a couple of these the other day. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. I also saw somebody who did a skull, and you know, they went, I think it was on Melting Memory page or something like that, and on Facebook, and they did a skull, and to me it almost looked like a ghost. And I said, you know, with a little bit more manipulation, we can make a ghost out of the same design and idea that we do the skull. And so I put 2 and 2 together and made a skull. I mean a ghost, excuse me. Going to push this some. You got color-wise, bud. Going to push you some HMMM by what you got color-wise, but I got everything. Well, I wouldn't say everything, but I've got greens, I've got blues, I've got yellows, I've got some UV reactive, even a little bit of Illuminati left. Not a lot, but a little. I think of all the stuff I've wasted on the Illuminati, and I still use it very, very sparingly. Out of a box style, give me a Tigger. Give you a Tigger? You realize how much it would cost just to get it to you? Even if I gave it to you? Maho's over in Mahood is over in Aussie land. Yeah, I think I can. I've got some oranges and some. Funny thing about Tiggers. Tigger's a funny thing. Whoa, look at his mouth go. Oh, oh. There we go. There we go. You heard me. I'll pay. Yeah, you'll pay for it, all right. I can try. I'm not going to guarantee anything. And I'm not going to make you send me the money until... until. But I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. Actually, I could do more like a tiger thing. I could probably get a Tigger looking thing, but I try not to do too much copyright infringement, if you know what I mean. See, the clogs are turning. Did I miss something? Oh, the cogs. Clogs or cogs? Never mind. Okay, now we put a loop on his head. The thing about these are that they're either side. Let's put a veil on this baby. Here we go, loop-de-loop. Here we go, loop-de-lie. Oops, I think I melted his eye a little bit when I did the veil. There we go. There we go. Now just do the bottom part of the ghosty. Ghosty with the mosty. Stretch him out a little bit on the bottom. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Now this sounds crazy, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and close this show, and I might even pump this one up to YouTube later on this evening or tomorrow sometime. And I will start another video very, very quickly. and try working on the color variations or stripes for a Tigger. Just because somebody gave me so I did this tonight, and is that cool enough? Yeah, well, this one tonight, blood red peace sign. Best I could do on short notice, and yes, it's still in the process of getting it looking good. Until next time, as always, thanks for being out there. Carpe vitro, which means seize the glass and enjoy your day.